Let's welcome in a very, very special guest now. Mr. R Narayan, President of FICCI from CMSME, is now with us. Mr. Narayan, thank you so much for taking out time for us. Hope all well with you, your family, all your stakeholders. Reports suggest that MCA is finalizing rules for easy foreign listing of MSME startups. This will help them raise funds abroad, maybe at a lower rate. How beneficial will this be? How beneficial will this be for any recognition for a lot of companies?
This definitely be an additional avenue, so it's always welcome. I mean, listing in India has always been there, but now with being able to list outside, but of course the devil is in the details. We need to see all the details of the T's and Q's of how it goes.
Right. Getting a abroad listing is not that easy because you tend to get a lot of compliance issues coming in. You get a lot of recognition issues coming in. A lot of brands here are known to us where domestic people may invest, but they may not be so easily be recognizable with a lot of foreign players. So what are some of the challenges that you foresee just looking at the news?
I mean, just looking at the compliances, you're looking at a tall, difficult path, of course, out there. Then if you look at, other things like, promoter control, if you're looking at other things like, for example, operational control and all of these things, it does pose challenges. But it is definitely a new place for SMEs here to list outside, and it's definitely a new option for them to go forward. So these if you look at companies abroad, even if it's SMEs, they do they are compliant with these kind of compliances. So we will need to learn to deal with them. And if we need to be global players, that's something that we have to do. The earlier, the better.
Hi, Mr. Narayan. This is Mubina as well joining in. Just want to understand that currently, what are the options, that MSMEs have to raise capital, and how do these new initiatives sort of, ease that whole capital raising process for MSMEs?
So if you look at it, you have the traditional path where you prove your financials and you go and borrow in terms of debt from the banks, etc. Then, of course, on the equity side, you have things like seed capital and then raising equity ventures like Series A, Series B, Series C, etc. Those are options that are always there. The other things that were there for the SMEs is that the BSE Small Exchange, the Small SME Exchange that was had come up, etc. But there has not been too much of traction on that front, and the success stories there have not been so many that we've had a rush going there. However, you will see that some startups in India have already listed outside. In the years past, and we have exceptional success stories. So these are the various options that are available. And then, of course, you have venture debt also that follows closely with if you raise equity capital from your venture company.
Mr. Narayan, obviously, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit, while of course it hit all sectors agnostically, if that's a word, pardon me, but it was MSMEs really that faced the brunt, which also prompted the government, the RBI as well, to sort of introduce measures to ease the pressure of MSMEs. How do you think, the universe is, bearing the brunt now? Have they been able to recover from it? Has their pace of recovery been faster, slower than, the larger guys out there?
The first 3-4 months were a complete washout, of course, for them. But now if I look at September and October, the MSME sector seems to have recovered to the rate of 60-65%, in some cases 70%. So which is a good thing. Some of these, I think if we continue and we don't have a second round of COVID, etc., I think we should be pretty much where we were, if not better, in the January, February, March quarter. If you look at the measures that the government have done and the RBI has done, like pushing down the interest rates, etc. The pushing down of the interest rates have not transpired as much to the SME as I would have liked it to be seen. Though there has been some relief there. The other thing is that the 20% extra loan that the banks were asked to give to the SMEs based on their current limits. That has been a huge relief for these SMEs. But we need to do things like granting new loans also, because there are many companies who need that working capital to keep their cycles on. And if we can do something there, there should be good. The good thing there is that I think today from RBI, there has been a notification, there's been a clarification about putting SME lending in the priority sector. Earlier, loans up to 20 lakhs were considered to be in the priority sector, but now I think they're increasing that. So that should be like music to the MSME sector.
Right. Mr. Narayan, if you would say that, Mr. Narayan, if you would say that, foreign listing, of course, is helpful, more methods are needed. But, if you would also say that which would be one of the hardest hit sector at this point of time would also be the MSME space, because they find it really difficult to get money, to get labor on time, to, probably get all the approvals to restart. How would you tell the shape of MSME is in the post-COVID world?
So like I said, the MSMEs have recovered up to 60-65%. So if I look at, the various MSMEs that we deal with, we talk to regularly when we talk to them. They initially in July and June, July, they were talking about capacity utilization of around 20-25%, etc. But that seems to be jumping to 65-70%. So they're definitely coming back to life. See, MSME is an extremely innovative place. Survival is their key instinct. So we are seeing them all doing all kinds of novel things in terms of getting back migrant population, to get them back to work, making them captive in their premises, etc. So so the MSMEs are shaping, and they're shaping up to face the battle pretty well.
Right, sir. Thanks so much, sir, for taking our time for us. Always good to get perspective from you. Let's go across now to my colleague Utkarsh. He's picking up some exclusive story on the resolution of Jet Airways, which of course has been ongoing for a while. Take it away, Utkarsh. What's the latest?